What's up, guys? Welcome to Unexceptional Tech, and today we're going to be talking about my streaming setup. Basically, going over these two PCs and a bunch of other stuff that I use to stream, telling you why I use what I use, and if you should do the same thing, because lots of things have changed. So, anyways, stay tuned for the rest of the video. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my streaming setup, my streaming YouTube, whatever you want to call it. This is my setup for what I use to stream and do basically everything else. So now I'm gonna go over the specs of both of these PCs here and explain kind of why I chose what I chose, and if you're expecting anything like super insane, you're gonna be very disappointed, because you know a lot of the stuff that's in here is not really super crazy. So I'll start off with this one, the white one. The case is a Fractal design R5, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think it's an R5. It was given to me by a friend of mine at Fractal Design. Josh is the man. Very good case, very quiet, and it's pretty easy to build into. So we go from the case to the meat and the potatoes of the actual PC. So in the gaming PC, we have a Ryzen 7 3700X. I think I have it locked at 4 gigahertz right now. It's not a really super great overclocker, so that's fine. And that is inside an Asus Strix X370F motherboard. And then on top of that is a Noctua NHD 15. I've decided to go away from water coolers because it's just, I wanted to try something different. I had a water cooler for so long and I wanted to try something different. And if you're looking for an air cooler that'll do just as well as a water cooler, the NHD 15 is a freaking monster. I'm going to try not to curse on this channel. And I love it. Such an easy install. It is super quiet and I absolutely love it. That was the one thing that made me want to get away from water cooling. I always had an issue with fans on the water cooler. A lot of my fans would die and stuff like that, and it was just, I don't want to deal with it anymore, basically. So I decided to switch it up to a Noctua cooler. Way happier than that. And I have 16 gigs of RAM. It's from Gale or whatever. It's Evo Potenza RAM. It's pretty good RAM. Can't really complain about it. For GPU wise, we are rocking a EVGA 2080 Super. My first NVIDIA card. I've always been with AMD. My first NVIDIA card, and I love it to death. It is a fantastic card. Does whatever it is I need to do. Power supply is a Fractal Design Newton 800 watt. It's I want to say it's a gold certified or platinum certified. I really don't remember, but it's a very good power supply. I've been using it for years. It's fantastic. And as for like hard drives and stuff like that, I have an M.2 in the gaming PC. I think it's a 1 terabyte M.2. And then I have an SSD, and I have a couple other hard drives. I have quite a few hard drives in there. I want to try and slim them down because I want to switch out the case eventually. But that's further on down the line. All right, so that's the gaming PC. Now we're moving to the streaming PC. Streaming PC, you're gonna see a theme going on with my PCs. So CPU-wise, we are rocking a Ryzen 7 1700X. It's locked at 3.8 gigahertz right now. Inside an Asus Strix B350 motherboard. Great motherboard. I really enjoy the Asus motherboards, by the way, because doing BIOS updates are super easy. Love them to death. And that CPU is being cooled by a Scythe Mugen Revision B cooler, whatever. It's a really big beefy air cooler that is relatively inexpensive. It's a very good cooler. It was really easy to set up, and I have zero complaints about it. So Mugen has really good coolers, surprisingly enough. So definitely check them out. By the way, real quick, everything that I'm listing is going to be down below in the description if you're interested, and they will be affiliate links also, just so you know. So if you want to help me out, go for it. So we go from the cooler, and we're going to go up to the RAM now. In here we have another 16 gigs of RAM. It's HyperX Fury memory. Everything's DDR4, by the way, if you're curious. So we got 16 gigs of DDR4 memory. And in the streaming PC, we are rocking EVGA GTX 1650. Now, for a streaming PC, you don't really need a beefy GPU. And with the GPU shortage that has been going on, I ended up getting that a few, I want to say around 6 months ago. And I wanted to use the NVENC encoder because I wanted to see what the hoopla was about. And I gotta say, it is definitely worth it. Granted, the 1650 is not using the most recent NVENC encoder, it's using the previous version, but even still with that, it's a fantastic way to stream. If you're using a one PC setup and you have an NVIDIA card and you have that encoder, it makes streaming on one PC so much easier. So I wanted to try it out and compare it from that to H.264, and I've been very happy with it. So I have no complaints at all. And the case, by the way, it's an NZXT case. It's an NZXT Source 530. It's a pretty old case. It's one of the first cases that I ever bought, and I just really, really like it. On the front, there's supposed to be a 200mm fan, but I took it off because it was starting to make noise, so I just took it off and replaced it with other fans. Really, really good case. I really, really like it, but eventually I will be updating both of these cases. As for power supply in the stream PC, it's a Rosewell Capstone 750. It's gold rated. I know you hear Rosewell and you're just like, eek, but I've had this power supply for, I want to say, about 5 years now, and it's been running like a champ the whole time. I've had zero complaints about it, zero issues about it. It is a fantastic power supply. And in the streaming PC for hard drives, I have an SSD and I have a couple other hard drives. There's not really much storage in the streaming PC. I don't really save a lot of stuff on there because it's mainly used as a streaming PC and a backup PC if something ever happens in my main PC, you know. So it's just it's a Radeon hard drive. It's a Radeon solid state drive. I'm sorry. Pretty good. Haven't really had any complaints about it. So moving on from that, we're going to talk about the streaming hardware that's in here because there's a couple things in here that you can't really see. Anyways, in here, what I use for streaming, there's two capture cards in here. The one is an Elgato 4K 60 Pro Mark II, and the other one is the Live Gamer HD 2. So the reason that I use the Elgato 4K 60 Mark II is because I upgraded my monitors a little while ago, and I needed the 1440p pass-through and the 240 Hz pass-through, and the previous capture card I had before did not do that. That's why I have that. Why I have the other AverMedia capture card is because I don't use a webcam to stream. I use this camera, and before I used this handy camera to stream. This is before the Cam Link came out, so I purchased that, and that is what I use to stream video of my face to the streaming PC. So yeah, those are the PCs for my dual PC setup. Like I said, everything's going to be down below, and I'm going to link to the actual spec page of my stuff. If you want to look at it, you can. So we're going to move from the PCs, and now we're going to check out the peripherals that I use. Keyboard that I use is a Drop Shift. It's from Drop, aka Mass Drop. It is a full-size compact keyboard. It has Halo True switches. It's full of RGB, USB-C, all that good stuff. I absolutely love it. I'm going to make a full video on it also, and we might be modding it pretty soon, so stay tuned for that video. For the mouse, I use a Glorious Model D for my gaming PC, and then for the streaming PC, I have a Glorious Model O. For webcam, I use this camera that I'm using right now. It's a Canon M50 Mark II. And I do have a couple webcams that I use also, a C920, actually two C920s. So that's the other thing. For other things around the stream, I have a Stream Deck, the original Stream Deck, which I absolutely love. It's probably one of my favorite pieces of gear. For audio, I have a Go XLR. I absolutely love the Go XLR. There's so many good things about it. I just wish that the team there would just update the software a little quicker than they already do, but that's neither here nor there. For the microphone, I used to have a condenser mic, and I decided to switch from that because where I lived before, it was carpeted and there was a lot of sound deadening and all that stuff, but now I moved into this house I don't really have any sound deadening on the walls, and then on top of that, as you see right up here, there's an AC. So being able to have that on and have the mic, you know, while I stream is very important, I guess you could say. So I switched to a dynamic mic, and what I'm using now is the Rode Pod mic. I absolutely love that mic. If you want my opinion, it's probably one of the best mics you can get for $100. I might do a video on that. We'll see, but a very good mic. It's $100. It looks nice. It sounds nice. You really cannot go wrong with it. If you're looking for a dynamic mic and you don't have a really big budget, I highly recommend it. For headphones, what I use for streaming and for everything basically is my Bear Dynamic DT990s. Absolutely love those. Absolutely love them. They're fantastic. And then the boom arm, I don't really remember what the boom arm is, but it's definitely it's a Vivo boom arm. It's definitely one that you probably have not seen often. I might do like a quick little overview on that if I do a video on the mic. And the monitors. I have 4 monitors, 2 monitors per PC. On the gaming PC, the main monitor is an LG 27GL83A. I don't know that off the top of my head. I actually had to look on there. And the secondary monitor on the gaming PC is a Pixio PX247. Both monitors are 144 Hz. The LG is a 1440p monitor, and the Pixio is a 1080p. I got the Pixio for a really good deal, and I read a couple of reviews on it. It's a very good monitor. And the LG, I have absolutely nothing wrong to say about the LG. For the streaming PC, the main monitor it's a monoprice for 144 Hz monitor. I've had it for a few years now. It's still holding up pretty good. It's a TN panel, but honestly, it's a stream PC. It doesn't really matter. And the other monitor I have is it's a Dell 1080p monitor that I've had for a long time. And everything is attached to a Vivo 3+1 monitor stand. It attached to the desk, all that stuff. The desk, by the way, I made myself. It's not really anything to brag about. It's just a piece of like really strong plywood. Cut it down to size, sanded it, and that was it. Because the IKEA desktop that I had, having all of these monitors on there, it was bowing down. It was actually digging into the desk. And my monitors, instead of being straight up like this, were starting to tilt towards me. And that was not a good thing, so I had to switch that out. The desk, I have a sit-stand desk. I forgot who it's from. I got it pretty cheap. It was like I want to say like under $300 for the desk. So that is about it for my streaming setup. If there's anything that you guys want me to go further into detail about, please let me know. Write it down in the comments below. Like I said, I will be doing other videos on certain pieces of equipment that I have, like my keyboards, and I might do a video on the Go XLR and probably the mic and stuff like that. I will expand further into certain things if you guys are curious about that, and maybe also talk about streaming setups and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of stuff that I can get into and a bunch of stuff that I can do. You just let me know what it is that you're interested in. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out, stopping by, you know, watching the video, checking out the channel. If you like the video, don't forget to like it. If you want to subscribe, feel free to do so down below. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.